Everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you happen to be. Hey, I want to thank you for joining us today. So we have got some fun going on, and we're going to do some digging, some research. We're going to find out all the little secret alpha information on what's going on with collective finance. First, I want to say, hey, to X8 Taylor, glad you could join us. I see collective finance in the crew. Anybody in the audience, make sure to stick around and pay attention because we've got some gold to give away as well. So I want to say, hey, everybody, please welcome the one, the only, Mr. Doc. Welcome, Doc.
What's up, everyone? How are you, Randy? Pleasure to be back, man.
Always a pleasure, my man. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I feel good today. As I said to you earlier, I feel like I got rested up over the last sort of, 3 to 5 days. So it's good. I was tired, so feel good though.
Excellent. Well, yeah, you guys had a big push. A lot of things have happened here in the last couple of weeks. I mean, started one direction, shifted gears, went another direction. I mean, man, this is crazy. The whole market is going insane right now. And if people are just not paying attention, yeah, it's insane. Nobody knows what's happening. It's absolute chaos. I love it.
Yeah, me too. So it's a good time for us to chat. You know what I mean? So we got a lot to talk about, man.
Exactly. So I want to kind of cover all of it. So if there's anything in particular or any direction you want me to guide, throw it out there. And guys, everybody in the audience, please throw your comments up, your questions, because you know me, I'll ask anything. I have no limits, no bars. If there's a question, I'll ask it. So first of all, let's jump back a little bit. So now I want to go back to the initial concept of collective finance and the pre-sale and kind of how that went. So it didn't take off. It didn't hit the soft cap. And something that I found absolutely amazing, which I know that you guys probably think this is normal, but for most protocols, you guys did a full refund straight back to the wallets.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah. It was. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but it was honestly really disappointing for us. Sort of the end result of the pre-sale, right? We I think I mentioned this before on one of our podcasts, but we thought we really did a good job from whether it was from a transparency standpoint, a marketing, a PR. You know what I mean? We really put things out there. We got amazing feedback. So, look who we got here. I love it.
My man. Hey. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm outside, but it's
nice.
Sunshine in Montana, baby.
I like it.
Yeah, it's nice. No, it's great. It's lovely.
What's up, Crip? Good to see you, buddy.
Man. Hey, here, maybe I can
brother.
Rotate this there.
That was kind of neat for a second. I'm like, oh my God, he fell over.
Yeah. No, just rotate it a bit. There we go.
Perfect. Glad you could join us, buddy. How you doing?
Yeah, good, man. Just, not finished with my day, but I figured I would jump in and see what you guys were up to. So.
Oh, we're just getting in trouble as always.
Yeah,
we're good at that.
Yeah, I figured as much. I figured I better come be the ref here.
Yeah, we got to have somebody. So yeah, I was just asking Doc about the whole pre-sale and kind of how that went, and you guys did a refund in like 48 hours. I mean, first of all, nobody gives refunds, and second of all, nobody does it that fast. That's just insane. So, how did that play out? Why did that occur? And why did you guys decide to go that route?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Crip.
What's that?
I said, go ahead, buddy. I'll look at the blue Montana sky while you talk.
Yeah, perfect. I'll try to be focused here. So, from the beginning, we decided that we had to meet a soft cap, and we were very transparent about that. And we had a lot of interest on the angel round, and so in order to kind of continue where we were headed at that point, we needed to meet that soft cap. So, being that we didn't meet that soft cap, we did exactly what we said we were going to do. We would refund the pre-sale, and then talk about what we're going to do next. So we had already had things that we were doing, preparing in case we did not meet that soft cap. So we didn't meet it. So immediately, obviously, we want to refund people immediately. You don't want to have to wait on your money, so you want to get that back right away. And so we did that. And since then, we've just been constantly working towards our our plan now. So I don't know how much we're going to get into it tonight, but we have some great things coming. As far as CLF goes, I might let Doc touch a little bit about kind of what we got going. I don't want to spill too many beans here, so.
Oh, you can spill them all. It's okay. Nobody's paying attention.
Yeah.
Go, tell me.
Well, we have a good plan. So
He said, "I'm going to get it all out of you, Doc. I'm going to get it all."
Yeah.
We'll see, man. I'm going to be on guard.
Yeah. Oh man. So yeah, I mean we got some good plans. Like I said, we had a lot of interest in the private side of the raise. Folks that want to enter in as seed investors and angel investors. We noticed that. So it'll be the transitional. It's going to be good. You guys saw, what we did on Arbitrum with the CGLD, and that was all part of the plan. And what we have coming is going to be part of the plan too. Like we said, at some point we'd like this to be decentralized, and I think we're headed there sooner than we realize. So I can't say too much more, but yeah, you'll see some cool stuff coming out.
Excellent.
And I want to add real quick just to what Kirk had to say. He's exactly right. It was super important. Like people know, we were planning for what would happen if the pre-sale didn't go as planned, didn't hit the soft cap well ahead of time, right? So we knew we could execute the refunds. We could do so quickly. And like Crip said, it's people's money. You want it back. You want to do something else with it, right? So, but I think the important thing to know is that when we'll talk about this more, but collective finance is moving on. We have a way to move forward, and we actually may have a way to sort of reward those folks who participated in the pre-sale, right? Which will be interesting. So yeah, that was priority number one: get everybody's money back, and then pursue our alternative routes, what we'll talk about. So yeah, everyone got their money back. That went down flawlessly, no problem, no complaints, no issues. So we were really happy about that.
Absolutely. Now, there's about 5,000 other protocols I need to introduce you to so they can do this stuff right, because I still have 3 to 4 protocols out there say, hey, we're going to pay you like 1/10 or 1/100th of what you got per month for the next 20, 30 years. I'm like, seriously? That is not how you do it, man. So yeah, you guys set the golden standard, and I think that is absolutely awesome, man. My hat's off to you guys, because yeah, that is absolute integrity. That's honor. That's pride. You guys are amazing. You truly do set that golden standard.
Thank you, man. Yeah, we appreciate that. And yeah, it's hard. Yeah, I said we were, and I know Crip agrees, it's super disappointing when you put your heart, soul, effort in, and we had the great feedback, like Crip said, but then it doesn't manifest into the pre-sale. And there's a lot of macro factors going on in that as well, which we realized, right? One of the things that came out of that we were so fortunate is we were able to launch CGLD, which really our gold-backed token, what is the backbone of what we created. We were able to launch that, right, and do so successfully. And where the protocols, collective finance is making money and earning yield off of gold, and other people have that option right now. So I don't know, that was a big plus for us. We felt great that we could still offer our community and everybody what we promised without sort of the pre-sale going like we wanted to.
Absolutely. Yeah. And now that's pretty exciting, because you guys went from literally getting the pre-sale, then just hit that launch date. In the process of doing the refunds and all that, you guys launched the gold token, mid-shift on the Arbitrum. Talk about taking too much on your plate all at once. You guys have no limits here or what? That was really impressive you could do it. And I want to pull that up here real quick. So yeah, literally before you did the refund, during that last week of the pre-sale, you guys set up gold on Arbitrum. It's freaking amazing. Why did you decide to jump to the Arbitrum versus jumping to one of the other blockchains or things like that? And is this where it's going to stay?
Yeah, I think we decided to go over to Arbitrum because of opportunity and timing more than anything else, right? There was a big, massive influx of DeFi capital into Arbitrum and sort of that network. And on top of that, we had an amazing opportunity. Our friend, our good buddy and colleague Madrid, and their team over at Arbidex presented us with the opportunity. I think they wanted to have the first and only gold exposure on Arbitrum, so that presented an opportunity with timing and being prepared to do so, right? And that was one of the things. We had our contracts, we were ready to go, and the idea for CGLD was always to be cross-chain, right? And we'll talk about later, but we have something we're going to implement that's going to make that all the easier, right? So yeah, it was a quick and rapid move, but it was calculated, and I don't think it was. We as an internal team weren't surprised that it happened with CGLD because we sort of expected it at some point. We were surprised how quickly it happened.
Right. Yeah. It was like night and day. I mean, I heard about it, and like literally less than a week later, it was up and running and going. It's like, oh my God, this is insane. And for anybody that doesn't know, so I want to share something here, especially for you, Crip. Because of getting my CGLT, I have been able to start collecting this.
Oh man!
So I just sit here and I work out with my gold every day. That's the workout.
That's awesome.
Dude, stop.
So if you guys haven't checked it out yet, yes, you can actually right now buy digital gold currency on Arbitrum. So yeah, this is super exciting stuff here. Now there's a couple different ways that they can earn with this, and if I click there we go. Now I click the right button. So now they've got it here in a liquidity pool, but then it's also over here on the earn tab. So what is the difference here, guys, as far as the returns, the rewards, what's the benefits, what's the best play in your guys' personal opinion? Not financial advice, of course, but which one would you say is the best long-term hold or the best benefit for the holder?
Yeah. I mean, I can say, I think like my personal position, I hold more of the LP. The way I kind of do things is, and this is not financial advice. This is just kind of how I start to get things going is I'll take that LP and, I'll earn emissions, and that's an ARX and wrapped ETH, I believe. And you get some fees. So what I'll do is I'll take that ARX, that fresh ARX, and I stake it back to earn back CGLD. And then I just kind of like repeat that cycle personally. That's how I do it. And that's not financial advice for anybody, but
right.
That's how I do it. And that's personal information.
That's I'm with Kurt. He literally took the words right out of my mouth. So you're staking two different things, so people understand. Whenever you're in our native pool, it's CGLD USDT liquidity, right? And then you're earning the native DEX token ARX. What you can then do is take that and further compound it, right, and earn more CGLD. So as Crip said, so the cycle repeats, right? And it's a way of compounding yield. You know what I mean? So it's a way of we like the term multi-layer yield. It's a way of creating multi-layer yield yourself, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and
that
it's
makes
healthy
sense.
too.
Yeah.
It's really healthy for both of the protocols and both of the tokens. And I mean, think about it too. Like it's a pretty good hedge. I mean, you're in there with gold. I mean, everybody sees the market, and then I mean, I don't know where else you're earning, those types of DEX emissions on gold right now.
Right.
I don't believe there's any other platform in crypto that you can do that on right now, besides
Not that I'm aware of. I know they've talked about several that are coming out and stuff, but I haven't heard of anybody else where it's actually set.
Well, that's the beauty, man, is like, coming out, we're out, we're here,
Right.
We already did it. So CGLD USDT, look it up on Dex Screener, CGLD USDT. We can drop a link if we need to, but pretty simple way to track the token. You guys can see, how well it's managed for the price and things are right on par. It's a great token. There is some arbitrage opportunities as well. So, be watching your entry point if that's something you're interested in.
Yeah, for sure. We also too, and I'm not even saying this right now, but we have another amazing use case for CGLD coming up, real soon. So, and it's in sort of addition to what we'll talk about already. And I'm not going to let that cat out of the bag, but there's going to be something else to do with your gold and earn yield on it, and it's going to be pretty awesome.
Very cool. Okay, so we've got the chart up here, the DEX screener chart for CGLD USDT, and it's staying pretty solid. I mean, right in this flat line. I mean, if we look at anything else on the market, it's spiked up, it's gone down, it's gone over the place, but gold has just kind of stayed right there. But I do see a few of these little spikes. So
yeah, that just has to do with lower liquidity. That's all it is. Anytime there's a thinner liquidity, you're gonna see. Until you get thicker liquidity, you can already see it. Like, it's hard for me to see on the charts, but you can kind of see, like, there was one big spike or one big drop there. It was, it was then picked back up, and then obviously right back on track there. But as liquidity gets thicker too, those are what we call those arbitrage opportunities. Because the way that we had originally set this up was set to go up on a balancer. A V2 or balancer V2 tech. So now that we're on, your typical DEX, it doesn't have as much, it will have some hot rod opportunities here soon, but it's a little bit different tech, so it allows that arbitrage opportunity, which actually is a good thing. But we're, the way that it gets managed is in a healthy manner too, because we got 3 eyes on it 24 hours, four eyes on it 24 hours a day. So we take that very, very seriously. So we do the best job we can to help manage that, and then try to allow people to enter at other positions before it might get picked up. It's be paying attention. I mean, there's opportunities.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And working like that how that line looks straight, that's something that we're sort of proud of, that's what it was supposed to do. And it looks like that. And the other thing it was supposed to do is when you see those big dips, the thing or a big pump, what you see is it going back the other way almost immediately, right? So and so that's what it's supposed to do. And honestly, and then when you look at it too, I think we started off with 100K liquidity, like we're up over 80%. But when you look at it, there's for large money to come in, it's hard because, as Crip said, liquidity is not too thick, right? So if you want to buy 5 or 10K worth of CGLD and all of a sudden you have a 5% price impact, it's not conducive to doing that. So, which actually leads us into probably what I think is the biggest development we have coming from Collective right now for CGLD, which is going to be our mint and redeem function, which where we are working on. We actually have a call with our devs tomorrow morning. So you know what I mean, about 12 hours from now. This is real. It's going to be coming to life. And what this means is that people are going to be able to go and with stable coins, say USDT, mint new CGLD. And then people who own CGLD will be able to redeem, go and basically for the stable coin. So it's think about a triangle potentially that would happen between PaxG, CGLD, and USDT or stable coin, right? So it's really a game changer. And what that does is it creates instant arbitrage, right? So that if CGLD is trading at a premium in the pool or in a discount in the pool, you're able to mint or redeem and make out on either sides of those, right? So going back to what Crip said, and it's all really a volume-based opportunity. So and the way we're trying to set it up is that we offer large positions to be able to come in without a huge cost and price impact. But at the same time, Smaller positions can get in with very minimal cost through the liquidity pool, right? So it's going to be a really interesting dynamic, and we expect liquidity to sort of to grow massively, because you're going to be able to mint gold at that point and then be able to earn yield on it, right? So
yeah, I think it's important to note too, like Doc said, it allows a lot more people to enter into what we have going on here without seeing that massive price impact, because it's a mint and redeem. It's not like you're gonna buy in, almost I call it like buying into yourself and selling into yourself. It's going to be better for everybody. If you want to enter the pool with a less amount, it's not a big deal. But if, say, you have like an institution, or say like a big VC fund or something that wants to enter, it'd be easy for them to enter as well. So yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a solution for the long term, and we talked about going fully decentralized. And I feel like we're doing it way faster than what we thought we were gonna do it, which is good. That's what we like. So, things are moving forward in a great way. I mean, I'm excited for it.
You had a great point, Grip, about the decentralization factor in this, because you have to think what now we're doing is creating like CGLD, and this gold backed token has become decentralized in nature because it's really a contract, right? So it's still backed by Pax G, just like we always have been, but you're able to have that input and output flow without any issues, and it's completely independent of us. It's really a contract, right? So as Crip said, it's truly decentralized in that fashion, which is that's amazing. Like, that's what we're going for, right? So you kill many birds with one stone, as the saying goes.
Absolutely. And now let me ask you, as people are buying into this and moving this, how is that going to affect this chart that we're seeing? Do you expect there to be big rises and falls, or is it going to hold pretty solid as this progresses and grows more?
Yeah. So here's what I would say is most likely we're going to happen. We're going to be able to launch the mint and redeem function, right? And then as we do that, you're going to start to see the CGLD USD liquidity, as well as potentially this other use case that we're talking about, grow rapidly, because people have access at a low cost. And they can be in and out, no problem, So there might be some price volatility at first. So, and you can do one or two things with that, right? And again, as Crip says, not financial advice. You can either, just literally, I want gold exposure and I want to go mint it. I know how much this is going to be my fee. I can make liquidity. I'm earning my yield. It's no problem, right? Alternatively, you can price arbitrage if you want. Do you know what I mean? If you're trying to make money off the spread between what gold is going for in the liquidity pool versus minting it, you're able to do that, right? So it offers, I don't want to say another use case for CGLD, because I don't know if that's accurate, but another way to make money off that token and its design. Right. So there might be at first a lot of volatility. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's trying to get in at the same thing at the same time, but you ask yourself what your goal is at that point. Do you just want gold exposure and you're trying to earn yield, or are you trying to swing trade gold in arbitrage? Two completely different concepts. You can do both, or one or the other, but make sure you understand what your goals are. Right.
Sounds good. And so one thing I want to make sure, because one thing that occurred in the CLF and all the things we talked about in the past 8 minutes, is that the CGLD will still be over collateralized. And is that true? It will always still be over collateralized?
This is an awesome question. I'm glad you brought this up.
Question. This is a great
answer, one. The answer is yes. But the mechanism by which it will be done is different, right? And this is super important. So right now we have CGLD over collateralized at 5 to 10%, right? And what we've realized pretty quickly is, although that's awesome and it's great, it's sort of puppy dogs and rainbows and unicorns, right? Like, sort of, why are you over collateralized 5 to 10%? What good is it doing? And the answer is it's not that positive for everybody, right? Like not only collective finance, but us as a whole. But the concept of being over collateralized is super duper appealing, right? So what we've created is a way to be perpetually over collateralized and then ultimately give back some of those, like some of that over collateralization to collective finance participants. And the way this will ultimately be done is we're at a plus 5% over collateralization ratio right now. Then imagine we go live with our mint and redeem function and there's a lot of volume and everything. Well, there's going to be a dedicated amount. Right now it's 0.25%. So we're of our fee that we're taking on that mint and redeem, that's going to go to the over collateralization. So imagine that percentage will be taken and it will use to buy PAX G and add it to the pool, right? Now that pool by math is designed to stay at 1-to-1 all the time anyway. So we're just going to be adding, sprinkling a little bit on top, right? So over time it goes from over collateralized, let's say 5% to 5.2% to 6%. to 9% to 15%, right? And what rate does this happen? It all depends on the volume, right? But what we have and I don't want to give all the details, but I think the big idea this will be good. Imagine if as that over collateralization grows bigger and bigger and bigger, when it gets to a certain point, you can say, hey, we're going to take some of that while still having it over collateralized, but then we're going to distribute this back out to the community and the protocol, right? We have something in plan to do just that. So not only will CGLD and our other C tokens be designed to be over collateralized, but that over collateralization is now going to be given back to the community when it reaches a certain level.
Interesting. Okay, so and that was my next question because if you're still adding a little percentage every time, eventually you're going to end up with a pretty good pile. So what were you going to do with that? So you beat me to the punch. Nice going there, Doc.
No. This is a super appealing thing because, as a participant, if that's coming, right? And you can watch it build. And as the amount of PAX G builds, right, the percent of over collateralization equals a bigger number. Right. So that's the pretty awesome thing about it. Right. So we have it designed that way. And it's great because you will, once it's flowing, it will always be over collateralized, always, no matter what. But it's going to give back to the people who believe in it and use it. Right. So it's pretty cool.
Excellent. Okay. So a couple different questions going two different directions. This is where it gets fun. Now, with this, being out there and stuff, do you see people creating trading bots or anything like that? Or do you have any worries about that?
I see people making trading bots for sure, and I wouldn't blame them. It's a smart idea. And no, I'm not worried about it at all. Like, you have to understand CGLD, it's not a native token, right? Like, you can't sell out of it. And if you want to go dump your CGLD, go ahead. We don't think it's a good idea. But go ahead and either one or two things happen. Right now, the price drops below, so people then can buy gold at a discount, right? Yeah, or people arbitrage it. So it's not, we don't, and actually from a fee standpoint, if you decide to go into gold one day and out of gold the next day, it's good for collective finance in our ecosystem, right? So that's the beautiful thing. The mint and redeem, not only is it game changing for increasing circulating supply, liquidity, giving people access, but it's a forever revenue stream for collective finance, and a good one, right? So no matter what happens, right? And it's every time we go cross-chain, every time we can go to another DEX, every time liquidity can be increased, or for that matter, decreased, it can benefit collective finance.
Okay. And of course, if it is good for the protocol, it's good for the community in the protocol. And like you said, you guys already have things going to benefit those people that got in early on the pre-sale that have the faith, have the belief, and participate. So I can't wait to hear more about that. That's going to be very interesting, to say the least. So my next thing I wanted to ask you, and I just drew a blank. Could you figure that? I did one of those brain freeze. God, I had two questions. That was one. One went this way. One went. Oh, that was it. Okay, sorry. It's been a day. So let me ask you, right now this is paired with USDT, CGLD. Now, as we know, you guys are not real, shall we say, fond of the not so stable coins. So I'm guessing that there's something in the works to shift this around. Can you tell us about it? Am I on the right track? Am I sniffing something in the alpha world there you can share?
Yeah, you are. Like you're on the right track. I don't know how much of this cat I'm letting out of the bag. But yeah, you're absolutely on the right track. And I mean, if you know collective finance, if you know the way we think as founders, if you followed us at all, what we're about, you could probably do some deduction here. But yes, it involves not eliminating what we have, but potentially another addition, right? One that we feel is long overdue, and some exposure that again will be the first of its kind, maybe on the blockchain, right? So and it's coming with these sort of rollout of collective finance and how we can offer collective finance to the community, right? So, which is going to be different than the pre-sale that we did, but these two things are intrinsically linked, and that, my friend, is sort of the other use case right now for CGLD.
Nice. Okay, so you're doing good. Keep going, Doc. Man, don't stop there, brother. Keep it fluid.
Serenity, you know how many lawyers I've talked to in my life, man? Like, come on.
I can imagine. Yeah, I'm not smart enough to be a lawyer.
No. Listen, I promise you this: we will. I will let this cat out of the bag. Our team will, with you on your live streams very, very soon, right? But we have obligations to our angels in particular, and then the rest of our community to make sure that like we're not saying things that are not timed appropriately. So I'm going to be super careful with it. I know it's annoying. I get it. But that's just the way we roll. So.
Right. And that makes sense. And so now that shifts to the next question. Okay. So we had the pre-sale. And if you got on the pre-sale at the very, very beginning, you got to be an angel, which is awesome. It was out of my reach, unfortunately, but I'm still, I'm going to sell my soul to become an angel. I'm working on that. I really am. Stealing the son of the devil, letter with the devil. But the next thing was to go with the CGLD NFT in that process. And of course, we didn't hit the soft cap. That's heartbreaking for me as well, because I was in there. I got mom in it, and she's still in the RB Dex. She's earning her gold. She's loving it. I'm loving it. But in moving forward, if somebody does want to try to get into that world, or maybe they've seen how you guys play, they saw how you handled the refunds, they see how you shifted and grown, they're like, you know what? Maybe I should have been an angel. Maybe I need to have faith in these guys. Is that door closed? Is there anything you can do for those people that say, hey, I trust in these guys, I believe in them, they've outperformed every other protocol out there. How do I become one of those angels? Is there a possibility somehow?
Yeah, I mean, gosh. Why are you asking me this right now? Or us this right now? No, no, I'm kidding. No, yeah, this has been in every discussion we've had every day. So we're lining something up right now that we'll be announcing fairly soon. But there will be another opportunity. Very, very small, limited chance, but there will be an opportunity coming up.
Yeah, I'm gonna be cryptic, just like Crip is here too. So he's exactly right. So as everybody knows, there was a super limited amount of angel NFTs. We minted even a smaller amount of that. They've been minted already. They're about to be distributed, and we have completely revamped the utility and the rewards of the angel NFT to be better than before and sort of geared towards what we're doing. So there's going to be something very soon on the table if you're interested in that. As Crip said, super duper limited. It's going to be presented to our angels first, sort of privately, and then it will be presented to the overall community. It will be limited. We expect it probably to fill up pretty fast. But yeah, whenever we'll Serenity, again, just like before, we'll give you all the hot and juicy details on that you can spread around, my friend. So and we've already put together some infographics, things like that too. So But yeah, it's coming, and that opportunity will be available if you're interested.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah,
So
but it ain't gonna be for long, I don't think, because I'm trying to bring these off-chain guys in, so I'm I'm
ooh,
pushing for that. So if you guys are interested, it definitely be on the look for it too, because it's on its way here. And like Doc said, we have infographics already done. We've already got the plan done. So um, other than telling you exactly what we're gonna do, that's pretty much telling you what we're gonna do in a roundabout way. So I don't usually beat around the bush, but you're making me do that right now. So
that's good. It means I'm doing my job correctly. If I'm making you guys tap dance a little bit, that means I'm doing something right. Because
yeah,
if it was just an easy read of script, man, that's just
yeah,
boring. That is not down home. That's not the way we do it.
Listen to all our angels out there listening or watching. We have all the sweet details lined up for you real soon. So don't worry, no one's getting them before you all do. I promise that.
I'm trying.
Yeah,
I'm
we always
really
take
trying.
care of our angels first.
Yeah.
Yep.
But no, thanks for bringing that up, Serenity. And honestly, it's something that's going to be important. It'll be super limited opportunity. We'll give all the details. And it's going to be first come, first serve. So,
Hey, so hope is not lost. I can still sell my children. Scrape them. Okay, I got it. That's it. I'm going to sell some kids. We will find a way. So now, you guys have things in the works. You've already got planned out. You've got infographics made. You've got all this happening. And I back up time a little bit. And even in the middle of the pre-sale, you guys started hinting at doing something on another blockchain. And like less than a week later, you already launched on Arbitrum, up and rocking and rolling. You guys are not the type to mess around. So when you say it's coming soon, to me, that's like a week or two. Or, I mean, when can we start to see some of these drastic shifts you're talking about? I mean, is there not a rock solid timeline or a date or anything like that? But I mean, is it like before summer, in the next 30 days?
oh my God, yeah. So we're talking a matter of weeks here, okay? Like this isn't going to be a long time. So like before, I think we will probably be discussing this with our angels, like we said, the plans here real soon, within maybe the next 48 hours or so. Then we'll be sort of announcing it to everybody in the community, and then after that, it will go down within a few weeks, right? And the way I would say this to everybody is that we have found an alternative way to present collective finance to the community and to those members who want to participate, right? And because of our success with CGLD, we might not have to do it in a pre-sale and a soft cap and things like that too, right? So all the juicy yield and what you wanted with collective finance, we have a way that we're going to be able to give that to everybody who wants to participate, right? It'll have some subtle changes, there's no doubt, but like the meat and potatoes, the bones, the scaffolding is still the same. And yeah, it's going to go fast, right? Like we've been intentionally quiet. I don't know how else to put it, right? Just strategically planning, making sure we have timing right. But like we think everybody is gonna love this. And again, the idea behind it is we're gonna have an alternative way to present collective finance to the community, right? And this will be, and it will, just like we've said, it's going to be primarily on Arbitrum. And
now I know we're kind of cryptically talking about all these different pieces, and I know it's not just one piece. It's never one piece with you guys. So now, is that separate from the mint and redeem, or are they all going to kind of happen at the same time? Or, what do you see as far as like a role? What's the next thing?
It's going to be in stages. It's definitely going to be in stages. So I was going to mention too, we're already, a good business should be looking, 2 years down the road, which is where we look, right? So, I mean, like Doc said, we're intentionally quiet. I think almost to a fault sometimes, because we don't, really tout ourselves and, have to go. I'm just not that kind of person to like go talk about myself. So I'd much rather just kind of be conservative and build and then deliver. And then when we deliver, not be late. And, I'm the first guy to jump down everybody's throat. Like, what the heck's going on? Why are we late? Like, what happened? Let's go. I feel like I'm sometimes like the bad coach, but it's for good intentions. But, being quiet it is a good thing, I promise you guys, because we're working. It's not like we're just sitting around with our hands underneath of our butt, but I mean, we're definitely working, and when we're not working and we're sleeping, there's other devs that are working and other parts of our team that are working. So it's 24 hours a day. Somebody's always doing something. So that's a good thing. Our marketing team is amazing. They're we have a great dude on the team, Grady. He's still around. He's helping. He's on board. We're pushing hard. We got all kinds of stuff that's rolling out. Nothing's slowed down. If anything, it's given us a little bit of time to shape things up for the better. And the white paper being a living document, we are able to kind of shift and switch and not in a dramatic way or drastic way, but strategically, and it helps us for the long run. And we don't have like we've said, we only have angel capital that's in the protocol, and we're going to be taking great care of them. And we have some good things coming up for other people to be able to get in, and we got a plan.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, for sure. I mean, I think when you look at it too, so we already have CGLD out there, and it's in play, and it's working, and it's proof of concept. And by the way, it's producing revenue for collective finance. You know what I mean? So it's already there and working and doing that. So one of the things that we really wanted to do in this, I'm going to call it updated presentation, is try to simplify collective finance. The idea that we had and the stuff that we wanted to do was great, and the mechanisms would work, but it was complicated, right? And especially in a DeFi world where you're used to seeing rebases and crazy APRs and things like that too. So one of the things we asked ourselves is, how do we do this, right? How do we stick to our guns and go after the core principles that we believe in, right? In growth, like yield and stability, right? But simplify it, right? And make it more straightforward. We feel like we've succeeded in doing that, and it will be a much more clear presentation, right? This time, whenever you see it coming from collective finance more than anything else. So I don't know if that's more hints for everybody.
It is more hints, and I like that. And no, I think that's a good thing, because I know even when I did my deep dive, and even all the different streams I've gone through with you guys and the journey we've been on together so far, sometimes it got very hard to break down, the treasury and the protocol and the 3 different revenue streams and how all this is going to work. And so many people got so lost. They're like, huh?
Right. Yep, absolutely. And now you can see it, Now you can see it. We're like, oh, the vault, here's what it is. Well, how do you earn your revenue? Well, look, here's the mint and redeem. Here's how much revenue is coming in. Here's the yield it's producing from a liquidity position. It's very tangible now, right? So like to launch this and be like, oh yeah, here's what we have and what it's earning already. And so it also makes it more palatable that like, hey, we're going to roll out, say, the portfolio, right? If you already have the vault and you proved it and it's working and it's even better than you thought, then people are going to probably have more faith in you in mobilizing the other parts of it, right? So we think that's where we're going to be. And again, these are steps we're taking real time so that everybody can see and say like, hey, look, what's going on? Even our D app, like the D app is done. That's alpha it's for everybody. We'll probably start showing this to people soon, but the D app's done. It fits into the new sort of rollout that we have. It looks like $1 million, and it's going to be functionable and interactive with the protocol, right? So again, just another piece that will be done and finished when we present.
Okay, great. And now on that
Doc.
I was going to ask you on that D app, is that the same one we looked at in the previous stream, that early alpha glimpse we got, or did
kind of, but it's even way better now. I mean, it's
even
completely
sexier.
It's completely redone. So like completely redone from the ground up. So yeah, it's like a damn Lamborghini, man. It's clean.
Perfect.
And here's Serious
Yeah.
Alpha for everybody. That is where the mint and redeem will take place through our D app, built in, already pretty much ready to roll.
Yep.
Okay, now I'm
In-house
excited.
code.
Okay.
In-house code. That's the biggest. That's the biggest thing too that to understand is that this code is all built exclusive to collective finance. I mean, it's not like
Yeah.
you just went and took some forked code. I mean, this is pretty complicated what we're doing. So, pretty excited.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Serenity, we'll make another deal with you. We'll drop it like live. Look at first on your stuff. Just
Okay.
not tonight. Just not tonight. So don't even ask.
You already knew I was going to ask. Wow, we've been doing this way too much.
I did.
I like it. So now let me ask you guys, since this is new code and things, did you have to go through the whole audit process, and how's that progressing, or where do we stand in that world?
Yeah. So once the code's done, once everything's done, then yeah, I mean, we'll have to go down that route. But we're like we talked about earlier, it's still being done. We have a conversation with our lead dev tomorrow morning. I have so much faith in this guy. I mean, I always feel like every time we talk to him, he's got some sort of positive news. He's a good guy. So we what I've heard from him is it's possible. So good things are coming. He's working on it. I mean, it's being done. So I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow he was like, oh yeah, by the way, it's done. Like he's done that before. So you never know. I don't know. So it could be another couple weeks. It's complicated, but I don't think it's going to be done tomorrow. We have a catch-up call tomorrow to just talk about progress and whatnot. But
so we definitely got to keep our eyes on.
He's not one to disappoint. To say his crippler, like he's. I don't think ever. It's probably over deliver all the time. So, but yeah, like Crip said, once it's done, the contract will obviously be audited. We'll have the same folks audit it, and it'll be run through testnet, the whole deal before it goes live, like anything else. So, same standard we've always sort of kept up to will be upheld here.
And that's one thing I want to point out is you guys have always been very good about getting your code done, then auditing it, then launching it. So many other projects say, hey, invest your money, then we're going to pay a dev to build the code, then you put your money in, then we're going to audit it, and then hopefully you'll get some money out of the other end. I mean, you guys have got this all back asswards, but actually the correct way it should be done. So again, my hat's off to you because you have never skimped on your standards or quality or your integrity anywhere through this process.
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna on Crip too, and like everybody, you guys, nobody wants to see like Crip if we're about to miss a deadline or something's happened. Like it's like, oh man, So no, honestly, and it's really good, like because it keeps you on that point, and it's Crip's the type of guy that like. If it's we're supposed to do something at 4 p.m. on such and such a date, if it's 4:01 and it's not happening, he's looking like tapping his watch, like what's going on? So, and it's really good. You know what I mean? It helps us live up to these standards that we tell people we're going to keep.
And
Absolutely.
Thanks, Doc, too, man. And just to add to that too, like we talked about it before. I might be more of the like what's going on. I'm the, I don't know, maybe to a fault I can be a little bit louder sometimes, but like Doc said, it's for good intentions. We all care about what's going on, and I might be the guy that's like, what the hell's going on here? Like let's get rolling. We don't have time. Like this should have been done. Where are we at? What's going on? How come we haven't had a call in 2 minutes? Like, we're on borrowed time here. We've got 5 minutes. We missed the launch. What's going on? Then I'm calling LB, ringing him off the hook, pinging him. Then he calls me and he's like, "Hey man, how's it going?" You just calm. And I'm like, okay, all right, maybe I need to chill out a bit, but we got some things going on. We need you here now. And he's like, all right, no problem. He hops in. He's like, "Hey guys, how you guys doing? What can I do for you?" And then he hops in and gets done. He's like, "All right, yeah, we're good to go." It's like, what just happened?
Really?
Yeah, so he's
all these Australian guys, him, Sean, just smooth as silk, man. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Sean too.
Something with the accent. I don't know what it is, but I wish I had that cool accent because I just love watching him and talking to him. And me and Sean chat for hours late at night. He'll call me. He's on his drive, and I'll sit here for a couple hours and just talk through everything. It's like, man, how do I get that badass accent? That is cool.
Yep.
Yeah, you just hang out with them long enough. That's how you do it.
I'm
You
moving to
just
Australia.
go plant yourself there. Yeah. Yeah.
I just might one of these days. So now on that point, now I want to throw something out there because, I've got to call it out. And, Zach, I hate to tell you, buddy, but unfortunately, you have never been on time to one of my live streams yet. Have you noticed that?
I'm terrible. I'm terrible,
You're
dude.
great at everything
But you
else.
know what? Let me tell you one thing though. It's for a good reason because you can know that I'm never I might be late, but I'm trying to be fashionably late. I'll tell you one thing. I have another company that I'm running all the time, and so I am terrible about being exactly on time. So I apologize. I'm working on it. Okay, I'm working on it. It's something that I know I need to do. As far as business goes, like if it comes down to like the nitty gritty timelines, I might, prioritize those more than I would like a live stream. So I apologize. It has nothing to do with you personally. It just has to do with business decisions. So, don't take that personally. It's just we're all busy guys, and Doc is. I mean, he's freaking spot on. I'm always trying to learn from him too, because he's got years on me, and so he's always advising. And I'm like, man, how do you manage your time well, and then I'm just trying to learn from him too, from a time management standpoint. I've got 2 kids as well, and I've got 8 horses. We just had one hit the ground. I just built the dirt bike track for my kids this weekend, and we have a full-fledged diesel and custom fab shop, and we're doing sprinter van conversions and all kinds of stuff. So it's very busy beyond crypto, and crypto is a full-time job itself. So we're trying to do like 4 or 5 jobs, which is fine. Like we can do it. I feel like if Elon Musk can do what he does, I can do it. So he's hence he is kind of one of the guys I look up to, because I don't know how he does it, but he's got multiple different ventures. And I feel like you get to that certain point where you can kind of take a step back, and then all that stuff kind of goes to work, and everything you worked on and built will get you to that point. But it also takes work right away, and that might be doing 5 different jobs. And maybe I'm calling them jobs, 5 different things. Maybe it's 3 different businesses and a couple of DeFi projects. I don't know, but yeah.
Whatever it is.
I'll get better at getting on time. I'm working on it.
I just had to give you a hard time, and I can relate to you, Zom, because I was a flat rate mechanic for 12 years, and so it was amazing. I could beat book time constantly. I mean, I was booking out 18 hours a day in an 8-hour day, but I could not be on time to work or anywhere to save my life. It just didn't happen. But man, I could book some cars through. It was amazing.
And Serenity,
man, and I'm always busting everybody's butt on it too. So sorry, go ahead.
But Serenity, you have the unfortunate luck that you're like our buddy now, man. So like it's like with your buddies, you can always be late. You're like, yeah, whatever. No, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I looked at it. It was like, what time was it? It was like 6 for me. It was like 6:06, and I was like, shoot, I'm supposed to be in that live stream right now. And then, because I had just gotten off the phone with the customer, and anyways, I'm literally right in the middle of. I had something cool today. I got a really unique. I like doing custom fab jobs, so I'm fitting. I actually showed Doc, but I love doing like stuff that people say that isn't like possible. I usually make it possible.
Nice.
So I try to do weird, a one-off stuff. Like I got a bumper that a company here in Montana built, and plow trucks around here, they're everywhere. So, but the problem around here is hitting deer, and it destroys a rig. So, you'd like to have one on your plow truck for when you're not plowing, if you know what I mean, to cover that, because these new trucks are $100,000. And so, anyways, long story short, we're fitting one on a plow truck for the first time. So that's kind of, it hasn't been done that I know of around here, and I don't even know if it's been done with the company that does it. So it's tricky. It's fun. It's stuff I like to do. It's fabbing and water jet work and stuff like that.
Oh, nice. So, this is a great opportunity because I'm going to pause everything for half a second. Now, for anybody watching, first of all, if you would, subscribe to the channel, like this video, but you guys here have agreed to give away some gold, some CGLD to you guys. But one, you have to be live streaming or you have to be watching the live stream. Two, you have to be part of the Collective Finance Discord. And I put the link in the description, and I'll do it again here real quick. Let me find that real quick. Seriously, I lost it. There it is. So be part of the Discord. Now, we're going to split this into 2 giveaways, Doc. I figured out how I'm going to do this. I told you we're going to have some fun. The first one is you have to go in their Discord and you have to answer this question. Okay? All you have to do is type the answer. And I know, Chrome, I'm sorry you're feeling sick, buddy. We miss you here, brother, but you get to monitor who does what.
Yeah, I put the Chrome to work. I was going to say it. That's good.
And he ain't getting out of it this easy. So the question is, for $25 for the CGLD token, what state does Cryptzom live in?
Oh, yeah, nice. Good question.
That's
Good
pretty
question.
easy to know. I mean, you could
I'll
look up
tell everybody,
behind me.
you're going to end up, it'll be a little bit more because you're probably going to get half of a CGLD, which is probably closer to the mid $30 range. So it's a few bucks extra just because we like Serenity so much.
Well, thank you guys. And I am looking at the chat up here right now, and I see Rebel 816. Congratulations, you just answered it. Yeah,
Rebel, he's
way to go, Rebel.
that sucker.
We know where
knows
to find Rebel. That's our guy.
Yeah.
Yep. I see him every morning. I hop in every morning in Discord. It's like, hey, good morning. How's everybody doing? And Rebel's the first one on the target. It's like, hey, Serenity. It's like, yeah. So Rebel, thank you, brother.
Oh yeah. If you're ever feeling hungry, don't talk to Rebel because they'll start talking about the food he's cooking, and oh my god, you're gonna be like, oh, I want to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does that in the morning, and I don't eat until later in the day.
Yeah, so good. Everything he talks about is so good. So nice work, Rebel. Congratulations, bud.
Congrats, buddy. So yeah, I had to throw that out, and I fear we'll have some fun, and we'll do the other one closer to the end. And pay attention because the next one, I'll give you a hint, will be about Doc. So.
Ooh, here we go.
Actually, it's a pretty easy one, Doc. You and I know the answer. Cryptzom knows the answer. Most of anybody who's watched my live streams with you guys will have already had this answer given to you before. So just be prepared for that. So
no one's asked me yet. It's funny on all the things like the biggest meatball ever. When I sit here, who's your favorite hockey player? You know what I mean? Like that's a good one. It just
right. It's kind of it's kind of right there
behind you.
Yeah. In big white letters.
That's pretty easy.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what we should ask people is like, what do they think I'm growing in my tent behind me?
I know the answer. I thought about that.
I don't know if you do.
Wasn't it lettuce?
I don't know if you do. It's certainly not cannabis, by the way.
No, weren't you doing lettuce? Wasn't that what I heard?
Oh, I've got all kinds of stuff in there now. I've got over 200 starts in there. So.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you figure they're like $5. That's another. I love agriculture, man. I love it. So, I started a business around it because I liked it so much, and for consulting. But, you figure you go to buy one of those starts at the store, and they're like $3 to $5, and then not to mention, they use petrochemicals to, in the soil to start the seed. So then you have, the residual in that plant from those petrochemicals. So anyways, we like to do it more or of an organic approach or a natural approach is probably a better word because organic's been overused. So yeah, so we do it kind of with some other products that are not accessible anywhere besides in my hometown. Kind of cool.
Nice. So
yeah.
Cameron says just a few more starts than they have.
Yeah, I'm just getting started. So we'll have probably over a couple thousand by the time we're done. But
gotcha.
You gotta, in order to eat from your garden, man, you have to have more than just like a couple hundred plants, because I figured out over the years, like the bigger the garden I make, that's the more I can eat. But then you can also like people grow in their garden just on the ground, but you can also go up with your garden too, and I do that, and I've got really cool systems that I use and I build, and yeah, I got all kinds of fires going, irons in the fires, man.
You guys do, and that brings me to one of my next questions, guys. Is I know that Doc, you have businesses outside the country with growing cannabis, things like that, the legalization. Cripsom, you have your truck company, you have your agriculture, all this. Now, how are these, or are these going to be bridged into collective, and are they going to play off each other to be real world assets? I mean, is there anything in the works like that?
Oh yeah, that's a tough one. I don't want to speak for Crip here, but I think honestly, like at least me personally, I'm trying to keep those businesses, at least for the time being, like separate from collective finance. That's like both for me and for collective finance, as well. There's one of my businesses, a product that we're developing that Crip and I have talked about. Hey, in the future, maybe this could get worked in. But no, I think largely collective finance is its separate focus. At least for me, I think largely for Crip too. Does it leak into, as Crip says, your network is your network? Like absolutely, But as business entities. Sometimes it's hard to mix some of that stuff, especially if they've been traditionally built already. To incorporate crypto in there from a regulatory, tax, user-friendly standpoint sometimes is not so easy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
And the
almost
reason
like go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. The reason I ask is because I've watched some other AMAs, heard some other projects where literally they're like minting NFTs out, and each like every 100 NFTs is like one truck of marijuana plants that are being grown over in I forget what country, it's somewhere in Asia, and then they harvest them like 3 times a year, and then whatever profits from that go to the NFT holders, something like that. So I didn't know if that was something that you guys were looking at doing, since you're both in agriculture, different types of a way to utilize like the NFT space and putting all this together in some future aspect.
Yeah, that would have to be, from a regulatory standpoint, that's a pretty tricky road to go down, especially in the States. I mean, they're gonna slam you. That's basically the definition of a security. So if you get in depth, I feel like it is. Hey, buy this NFT and we're gonna pay you a certain amount of profits. Then they're gonna go, well, hold on here. So. I think those projects can be done outside, of the States, if other countries that are more crypto friendly allow, other opportunities, I should say, allow for other opportunities without hitting them up, with the regulatory spatula. So I think, as far as like what my business is doing, I've considered, maybe possibly taking like crypto as a payment in some form or fashion, but not directly related to collective finance. Yeah, would I take CGLD for payment? Yeah, of course. Yeah, if somebody said, "Hey, man, I've got CGLD, I'll pay you in CGLD," I'd be like, "Okay, yeah." As a business, I can take whatever form of currency I want to, but it's not like I have a direct link to it. As far as the only one I would take in a small amount, not like talking 100 grand worth, but CGLD, of course I would. That's what we stand behind. So, anyways, yeah, as far as links, no, not really.
Yeah. I think the other thing too, Randy, is that when you look, collective finance is different from other businesses. The reason we started collective finance is built on these other principles and exposure in areas that we felt we wanted more of, and that other people might as well, and to sort of solve some problems. You know what I mean? I don't think necessarily you always should try to or ever try to jam a square peg in a round hole. You know what I mean? Like if collective finance is good in what we're doing, then that's the route we go to. I also think when you start to put your other businesses in there, it could be a serious conflict of interest potentially, right? So you just have to be real slippery slope.
Yeah, and I just had a talk with a lawyer today about business advising, and I gotta go talk to him about, restructuring some of my businesses just to make things easier. And man, that would that would be a nightmare. He was already pissed at me. So I was thinking, yeah, that would be a could you imagine? Oh God, probably wouldn't even talk to me.
Probably wouldn't say, yeah, we're done. Go
Yeah.
talk to the guy next door because, I'm not
Yeah.
dealing with it no more.
Yeah,
So,
lawyers are
yeah.
funny, man.
They are, definitely. And yeah, that's one thing I wanted to ask is, because that's something I thought about because I've heard about these other people doing that, and I was kind of curious your position. So I like the fact that you guys are kind of drawing that line in the sand of between integrity, what's right, what's wrong, and also watching out for the securities, the SEC, what's going to happen there. And I mean, you guys are always so far ahead of it. But if nobody asks the questions, then we don't know that you're thinking about this. So, yeah, I appreciate you guys running down that rabbit hole with me. It's definitely a fun journey.
Of course, man.
Learn something new.
Yeah, for sure.
Of course.
For sure.
Pretty
and I'll
easy
tell you what,
questions,
like
really. Thanks.
you brought up the cannabis business, man. Like that is not for the faint of heart. Like the days of like making money off marijuana and everything are, I don't know. It's again another slippery slope because everywhere you go, the rules are different everywhere, right? So
Yep, and Idaho's the worst. I'm sure Cryptom knows this. Every state around us has legalized medical marijuana except Idaho. So even if you buy it in Montana and you're legal allowed, and you drive through Idaho to get back to Washington or something, you get tagged in the middle. Yeah, you go to probation. You're going to jail. There is no sense of humor here. But I know the legislature is just working on introducing medical marijuana to the state of Idaho. Yeah, we're surrounded by 5 other states that have it legalized except us. I mean,
yeah,
that's
pretty funny.
Think, right? Like from a patient standpoint, and this is something as a doctor I'm like really passionate about. But think how much BS this is, right? That as a patient, you could really benefit from medical cannabis, right? And there are a number of like serious ways, like whether it's seizure, chronic pain, whatever it may be. And literally the person in the state next over to you can have it, but you can't. That's not like okay. Yeah. And in anywhere else in medicine, that's illegal, by the way. Right? It's really garbage. You know what I mean? I'm not talking junk on Idaho. It's just the whole system is really not set up for like the user or the people who need it. It's not good.
Right. And there are a lot of benefits. And so it's one of those where I've always been a believer of, you know what, if it's not hurting somebody and if there's a benefit to it, let them do it. I don't see why you're trying to control.
Well, the funny thing about cannabis too is like it's literally a weed. I mean, it's something that it was on this earth before we got here. So, and then they made it illegal. It'd be like saying like, oh, hey, yeah, that, that. And they do have noxious weeds that they want you to get rid of, but it's not like they're gonna come down and throw you in jail because you have some in your car. That's where I just don't understand it. And like Doc said, it's like what federally it's still illegal, but within the states it's been adopted, and before too long. It's going to be, I would imagine it's going to be legal. But then what happens to everybody that they went to prison for it?
Right. Everybody go home. We're done.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like and ask yourself, and God, we went down this rabbit hole a little bit, but ask yourself this, like logically, as a human being, like, and you're smart enough if you're listening to this too. So we have a plant that's been around and been used medicinally for thousands of years, literally, right? And all of this data and all this time, and like, but yet our government still says nope, you can't use it, and there's no medicinal use, right? However, we had no problem creating a medicine that we gave to billions of people across the globe that we studied for a matter of months, right? And that's okay and it's safe. it doesn't, these type of things don't logically make sense, right? And I guess that's why, like, people need to always just think about this stuff too. So yeah, going back to medical cannabis, it should be available for everybody, man. It's, it really should, and you shouldn't have to worry about persecution for that ever.
I agree totally. And yeah, this has been a good journey. It kind of takes us to my next question. I'm going to bring us back on the gold track here for a sec, but I really appreciate your answers because this is stuff I think is important to understand because you do both deal in agricultural and you do deal in actual medicine. I mean, you're not just a doc by name. You're like a real triage doctor and all these certifications. So people don't realize that. You guys are like the smartest people I know. And that's saying a lot because I know a lot of people. So
that's nice, buddy. Thank you.
Absolutely. So I read an article the other day, and I didn't know if you guys heard about this, but I wanted to bring it to your attention just to see what you thought. So here's this article here that Texas is doing a gold-backed digital currency project, and it's like decoding the laws of it. I mean, it sounds like they're messing it up. They're taking something so simple, and they're going to screw it up so bad nobody can deal with it. But it's one of those, like, you guys are a step ahead of what the rest of the world should have been doing. And even now they're trying to do it and they're still screwing it up. What do you guys feel about things like this or other people that are trying to bring this out? How do you think that's going to play? Or how's that going to affect the CGLD, do you think?
Yeah, it's going to affect us in a positive way. I think, look, we have our beliefs. And I think when you see the timing of what's happening in the world, it's not only these folks in Texas that are doing it. Look at all the BRICS nations and what they're doing it, right? I mean, so gold as a collateral and backing things is really coming back into fashion quickly, right? And for good reason, more than anything else. So, yeah, I mean, we're not surprised. I don't want to speak for Crip, but I don't think we're one bit surprised to see articles like that. It's out there and it's happening already. I told my dad this the other day. I'm like, Dad, you're not paying attention enough. You know what I mean? You just need to pay attention a little bit more. So yeah, and look, is there going to be competition? Like, yeah, absolutely. But we actually had this talk on the Obsidian AMA the other day, and we were on there with the Alchemist, and it was like different ways to provide gold exposure. Like, collective finance offers a very unique value proposition, right? So, like, more so than anything else, and it's going to be able to live on and move in a decentralized manner for good, So, and it's going to be able to give people the opportunity to get into gold and to get out of gold, and when they're in it, earn yield on it, right? And it's not going to be limited to one protocol or one DEX or one chain or anything else. So I believe in what we're doing. I think everybody else should do stuff too, because there's going to be way other good ideas besides what we had, right? But yeah, I mean, we're super happy in the position we're sitting right now, and like, we're just getting started. So,
right.
Yeah,
excellent. So I didn't know if you had something to add to that, Crip. You started saying something, then you got quiet on me.
Oh, no, that's okay. No, I mean, Doc pretty much summed it up. We're good.
Okay, sounds good. So on that aspect, now, as far as moving forward, I know you guys have talked about other commodities, things like silver, diamonds, things like that. Is there stuff already in the works? Has there ways been found? Or where do we stand on that? Is that still on the future path?
Yeah, we found stuff, there's for sure. I mean, I think we're probably closer to diamonds than silver. We're waiting for what I would consider critical step to happen from a diamond standpoint. We don't know exactly when it's going to, but that we're close. And for silver, we're still looking for the one we want to bring to the dance. You know what I mean? For lack of a better term. We've gone through a lot. Me and Crip have both lost some money doing so, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. You're right about that.
We thought we found our perfect date, but she set us up when it came time to dance.
Oh, damn it.
And yeah, so I said this before in another AMA. If anybody knows any silver exposure that they would consider close to what PAX G does, please send me or Crip a message, or Serenity.
Absolutely.
I think they're silver. If you ask me personally, I would rather do silver first, because silver goes with gold so well. And when gold runs, silver tends to run way faster. Do you know what I mean? So for that standpoint, but on a unique standpoint, there's really minimal diamond exposure available out there anywhere, right? So they're both super appealing. But I think the plan is first we get gold just rocking and rolling, and then after that, we're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Okay. So now on the gold, now you've talked about bringing gold to other blockchains and stuff. So what do we got in the works? What do you have going? What's the next blockchain? How's this going to play, and how's this going to look?
Whew. That's a tough one, huh, Chris? There's a number that are on the list.
I mean, different.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, different blockchains. Like, I mean, are you talking different networks?
Right. Like, as far as, do you see
Like
the
just-
CGLD moving to AVAX or Binance or any of those? Or
Yeah, sure. So, I guess, I mean, that was kind of a rhetorical question. Anyways. Oh, shoot. My headset just died. Can you still hear me?
yep, we can still hear you.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, I mean, we're looking in. We've been approached by some other folks about partnerships. I'm working, obviously, on discussing other options, other networks. We still leave the door open. That's a big thing, is to leave every door open. Because at some point there's going to be, people that really want this. So, I mean, we want to leave all the doors open. But as far as the immediate, I'm not going to get too far down that rabbit hole, because we got a lot of stuff we're dealing with right now, and we are working on that. It's just, that's part of that, 1-2 year goal that we're looking at, as far as not going to a different network, but expanding far beyond 1 or 2 networks. That's going to happen over time.
Okay. Well, I know it's somebody had asked that in the Discord the other day. It's like, okay, I started taking literally notes of what people were asking in Discord. It's like, let me see if I can answer that one, and we'll try this one, and let's go for all of it.
And Crip's right too. I mean, obviously, remember BSC, Vertec is still like our folks over there, right? So I think that's high on the list. We have there's a block that's going to be launching really soon that we're super interested in. And then the other thing, it's based off of demand as well. Do you know what I mean? So who wants us over there on their blockchain? That type of thing. And we're going to see how that happens. Once this mint and redeem function occurs, then it's not, you don't even have to come to us if you wanted to. You could take CGLD wherever you want it, right? So yeah, like it's in the works, but I guess like Crip said, we're still making sure we got everything right on Arbitrum, and then it's like, okay, we can sort of go wherever we want and wherever we're wanted is a good way to put it.
Okay. No, and that makes perfect sense. And it's good that you guys are keeping your options open, looking for other ways, other places, and other ways this can be utilized. Now, I had a question. I did it again. The brain just froze. It was something Crip was saying, and I'm trying to remember. Oh, I remember what it was. Now, you guys have both hinted at, okay, other blockchains, other places, other ways to utilize this. And I remember earlier there was a mention of a wallet or a way to fast track this stuff. Do we have any more juicy information there?
You mean the D app?
I thought there was something about a wallet somebody mentioned about in a previous alpha.
Oh, yeah,
Doc's smiling up there.
I know he's digging. This is Crip's answer. You can take me off this screen. This is Crip's for sure.
Yeah, I remember. I thought it was Crip that mentioned something about fast tracking Seagold. There was supposed to be some easy, magical way to do it.
It would be like, it was more or less based on on-ramp and off-ramp, and being able to get fiat, onto the blockchain quickly. And that would have to do with, a certain wallet, yes, that I'm still working on. Those things I'm waiting for it to be done. So we're waiting for it to be done. So it's out of our hands, but we are the first on the list to be notified. So, it's just kind of in limbo, as those kind of things can take a while to build. But I know they were fairly close, and he was actually, kind of testing things out. But, I don't even know
what it's going to look like on, what countries are going to be able to use this wallet, as far as from a regulatory standpoint. So as they kind of progress and get further and say, okay, yeah, cool, we can talk about it, then, I could get more in detail. But at this point, no name drops, no nothing. I can't tell you anything, but besides that, yes, that's still being worked on. And yes.
Okay. Just thought I'd ask. My whole job is to dig and find all the little pieces.
Yeah. It's all good.
So, now, question: as far as the CGLD, what do you see as the next progression of growth? I mean, I know we've got the CLF moving that way, and we've got the mentioned redeem coming. What's down the road from there? Give me a 6-month time frame. What do you guys see? Where will we be in 6 months?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about like use case for CGLD. So the growth could be like exponential, right? Because once you have the mint and redeem, that's the biggest thing. So because anybody can come in or out at any time when they want with minimal price impact and fees, right? We've now created 2 ways, through a liquidity pool and through the mint and redeem function, right? So anybody who wants exposure to gold is going to be able to do it and do it at their whim. It doesn't matter about us or OTC or anything like that. So from a growth standpoint, we expect that to be exponential. Then what are further use cases for CGLD that are, for us, yield earning and potential, right? We have something lined up for that pretty much immediately once we get cooking. I think next steps after that, you would love to, we have other parts of the protocol that we're going to be building out as well too, not just the gold part, right? So there'll be some focus on that, and then you have the other C tokens, right, and expansion. The idea behind CGLD is to get as much of it in circulating supply, you know what I mean, as possible. So that's like goal 1A and 1B, and 1C.
Okay. Sounds good. I was really hoping I could dig out some extra alpha there. I was really trying. It's like, okay, I'm going to throw a bow, see what they go after there.
I'm going to be honest with you. That's even alpha. Like, we probably have locked in our brains and we won't go there just because you can't, like, at the speed of what DeFi moves. I can't remember what Crip said to me the other day, but something along the lines of, like, if you, like, just, like, turn your head and turn back, you missed, like, 4 days in DeFi. You know what I mean? So yeah, like, it's really important that we focus on right now what's happening and execute on that. Like, we have ideas and plans for the future, but if we don't get through the next month, 2, 3, then that's all. It doesn't matter.
Right. Absolutely. And no, that makes perfect sense. And I think that takes us into the next thing, which is, I think it's time to give some of that great CGLD away, because I know we're getting close to our time here. Because I know Doc set me on a schedule tonight. Sorry, guys, we can't have 4 hours. He won't let me, because I could go down rabbit holes all night long. I mean,
I promise. We're going to have another party type AMA we can do soon for like this for sure. So, and it'll be a long time, and we'll just split it up between founders, like 2 hours apiece. Yeah.
Well, this is going to be fun. I like that. So, everybody watching here, first of all, make sure you like, subscribe, Down Home Crypto, please. But you have to be a member of the Collective Finance Discord. And I'll bring up that link again. I lost it. There it is. So if you're not a part, and I'm sure that most of you are, we don't have a ton of viewers tonight. It's kind of quiet, but that's okay, because you guys are the ones we want to make profitable and say, hey, thank you for your support. So here's the question. See if this is an extra credit question for the same amount of C Gold token. What is Doc's favorite hockey team? And you have to post it in the Collective Finance Discord. That way Chrome has something to do. Chrome, I'm sorry you're sick, buddy. We miss you, brother. But don't worry, we have plenty of opportunities for lots and lots of camera time.
I love it.
And see Jeremy up there typing.
And Rebel, you're my boy, but you can't win twice in a row.
Yeah. Good safety tip. Thank you, Doc. I'm watching to see what Ribble pops up with, but I don't want to get too distracted there.
That's a good question. I can't figure out where to put my head. Do I put it there and block that, or do I put it here and block that one?
It's a tough call. I don't know. See, for me, it's kind of hard to tell. I mean, I know how I could go about it, but I'm not going to share that information here. So I think we've gone through a lot of our rabbit hole, guys. As far as, is there anything I haven't covered yet up to this point in time and that we've gone through?
God, I don't think. Oh, nice. Crypto Cricket just got it. I'm watching.
Crypto Cricket, yes! Pittsburgh Penguins, baby.
Nice.
Congrats, Crypto. Thank you, brother.
Congrats. Yeah, that's awesome. That's good. That was a good one. Poor Jeremy, I think, was trying to tell. Oh, Jeremy came in late. Don't worry, don't worry, Jeremy. You're an angel. We got special stuff for you anyway, buddy. So we're good.
And Jeremy, congratulations on an angel. And one thing I plan on setting up, guys, just to give you a heads up, is I'm going to reach out to a couple of the angels because I want to bring the angels on a show. And I'd love to have you guys in there, but I want to know what it's like to be an angel. What does it take? What kind of people are these? What inspires somebody to become an angel? And, how do they feel about it? Because I'm really kind of curious from that side of the camera. I get the founders, I get the teams on here all the time, but I'd really like to get the opinions of the community.
Yeah, you should. You should. Like that's something like Crip and I are both big angels and seed guys, and a lot of the stuff we've invested in had been together. So it's a really, really interesting perspective. And it's not just like all these people with a whole bunch of money that everything they invest in turns to gold, no pun intended. So like, you know what I mean? Like, they're going to be able to tell you about, like, these are folks that sometimes take way bigger hits than everybody out there and stuff, right? And Crip and I have been those folks before too. So again, it's not always a pot of gold on the other side. So no, I think that would be an awesome AMA, Serenity. I will come and listen to that one as just a listener, just because that'll be a good one. Because not only about collective finance, but just their experience about as angels, it'd be a good one.
Right. No, I appreciate that. Thank you. Because it's that's one thing nobody ever covers. They don't ask those questions of the people.
Yeah.
So
I know it's I can't believe not only do they not cover that, but we're one of the first protocols, and I'm not saying anything bad about anybody else, but we're one of the first protocols I've ever seen that has done something additional, like dedicated to the angels, right? That like not just, oh yeah, here, give us your money, you get a good deal, but like a use case for the angels because they're all super smart and engaged and they have good ideas and network and it's been so far, it's been awesome for us. We love it. I would encourage other protocols to really sort of take that to heart. You know what I mean? Maybe like take a little more time and a little more TLC for your angels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's important. Oh my gosh. It's more important than you realize, especially when you're trying to raise capital to get a project going. I mean, it's so important that I can't stress it enough. I mean, we set this thing up to where we, it's palatable for us, and we looked at it like we were angel investors, like Doc said, is because we've been investors, and now that I look back about how we did things, I was thinking to myself, man, I would go back and pull some of those investments that I did in the past.
I think we're all at that point in time in life somewhere.
Yeah, but you can't go back. You just go forward.
Exactly. Yeah, there's no looking back. And that's, in fact, I do those daily morning inspirational videos, just a quick 1 minute one. And that was one of us. Just keep pushing forward. No matter what happens, if you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. Just keep moving forward. No matter what, don't give up. And you never know when it's downhill on the other side. Smooth sailing.
You're spot on. And one thing that, like, the vision that I get every time is because I've been through hell, man. I've had a hell of a life. I mean, I say that like complaining. I'm thankful for everything I've been through. But the one thing that, when upon success or the start of success, you're going to meet resistance regardless. You will meet it. So instead of trying to run from it, you have to welcome it and hit it head on. It's like you can't run away from it. If you want to be successful, you got to go for it. And then when everybody else is sleeping, you got to be working. There's not time for you can't be the complainer either, because if you're the complainer, don't matter if you're working 40 hours. I've worked 48 plus hours straight. But if I sit there and like talk about it more than I'm doing it, then there's a problem. If I'm able to talk about it, I have a problem. If if I have short conversation with folks that lasts way longer than 3 hours and then I didn't get anything done, there's a problem. Like there has to be constant pressure on me, and I hold myself to a very extremely high level. And my wife's like, you need to be easier on yourself. And I'm like, well, shit, let's be honest. I don't have anybody else out here pushing me. So it's just me. Like I'm in Montana in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by some grumpy ass neighbors sometimes. And no, they're pretty good. No, so I mean, just in the middle of nowhere, and it's been that way kind of my whole life. I've had to kind of like be my own rock, and there's times where that is hard. But the best way is to just, my vision goes back to my vision. I think of like, the worst damn tropical storm you could be in, and you're setting sail, and the only way is through it. And so you imagine you have the rain, the lightning, the thunder, swells, they're capping over, but you're going to make it through that storm. And so every time I go, struggle, and there's times where I dig deep, really deep. And it's exercised me over the past few days. So I've had to, this is very fresh for me. So, you dig deep and you keep going and you don't quit. Like quitting's not an option. There's no such thing as quitting. There's no quitting. You don't quit. So it's either you die or, you just keep going. There is no quit. So I hope that helps people understand me a little bit better. But we're not, guys. Yeah, we're not going anywhere. We're here. So
you had asked too, like if there was any sort of last message or anything, and here would be mine. And it's not really about collective finance; it's sort of indirectly related. But people, if you're still listening now, thank you. But people should pay attention to what is going on in the world from a global economic standpoint. There are massive changes that are happening right in front of us, right? And you don't know the timing, you don't know exactly how it can end up, but you need to be aware. And the days of crypto like we knew it, of easy money and things like that, are over, right? And you need to be prepared, and you need to understand what could be on the horizon, right? And these are the type of things that once you understand that, I think that's whenever you see maybe organizations like Collective Finance, how we become even more valuable, right? And preservation of wealth is going to become a big thing super fast, right? So I would ask everybody, just go pay attention, listen, whether it's these type of things, Sean, Crypto Sensei, anybody, just go find more information about what is going on in the world so you can be better understood from an economic standpoint.
Well said. And yeah, I couldn't agree more, because I'm one of those, I'm in it all the time, all day long, always reading articles, learning, finding out what's going on. And there's so much going on that you don't see on the news. You don't see it on 10 o'clock news, the newspaper, nothing. By the time you read that article, it's already happened a month ago. You have no idea what's really happening, especially here in the States. We are so cryptophobic that, I mean, the media, they push it away, everyone pushes it away, but man, the world is changing out there. So everybody, please take a little time, do a little due diligence. Go check out Crypto Sensei on Cryptonaires. He gives awesome information. Take time to read those oddball articles that happen in Asia or South Africa or whatever, and find out that, hey, they're adopting that crypto as their mainstream media or their mainstream currency. Right now, we've got the CBDC building up a digital crypto for the federal government now, but they are still against cryptocurrency. Figure that one out. So you start learning just a little bit. Go below the surface, and you're going to find out there's a whole nother world out there. Yep. Well put, Doc.
Yep. No, thanks. That's the truth, and I want people to be informed, and it's out there. You just got to go look. And it's hard sometimes when every day all you hear about is Biden and Trump and another shooting and all these things in the border, like, and inflation. Like, there's all these other things distracting you. But this stuff is going on right now, real time. So, like, you got to pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. It's absolutely crazy. And in fact, my wife works for the insurance company for state of Idaho, and she deals with the payments that the insurance companies send in. And I just showed her an article about the FedNow system and how that's going to work. And she's like, whoa, that probably will affect me. It's like, yeah. And it's going live in July. It's just a couple months away. And she had no idea it happens. And she's one that deals with that. So yeah, they're not telling anybody. It's really up to everybody to do your due diligence. Just learn a little bit every day.
Yep. And I'm not no financial advice, but I'll tell everybody what I want. I want gold and Bitcoin. So that gives you any idea what collective finance is built around.
Interesting. So is that some alpha there? Maybe we got something coming up that
I'm not saying another word. I just told you I like gold and Bitcoin. That's it.
Hey, mark that on your calendar, guys. Gold and Bitcoin together. They're going to merge somewhere, sometime. I can see it coming.
Yep.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, I think that's about everything I had. Unless there's something I missed, then I definitely want to thank you for your time. This has been an absolute pleasure as always. And I definitely want to say again, I am seriously honored, and I respect you guys fully for the way you've done everything up to this point. It has been absolutely amazing. Your honesty, your integrity is truly unique and refreshing. So thank you.
Yeah,
thanks.
Yeah, that's nice. And as we always say, we'll be back soon. I want to give a special shout out to Crip. I didn't think he was hopping on today. I was going to be running slow, so that's my ride or die coming through. I love it. So thanks, Crip.
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah, I just stopped. I was like, you know what? I'll put this stuff. Like I decided to quit making me in the tangible to have some fun and having me on. And I know it's not the best organized because I don't have my studio all set up, but you got to see a little bit of Montana sky and a little bit of my ugly face. So thank you.
Absolutely. And you know what? Thank you guys for taking the time, because this is where the community gets to find out, and we get to really know everything about you and what's going on, not just about our finances, but truly about the team that's building it. And I think that's just as important, if not more so, than what they're building, but who is doing the job. So thank you guys for giving us your time and your attention. And Crip, man, I know for you especially, that's hard to do. So thank you, brother. Very much so.
Oh, of course. I appreciate you, and happy to be here. Thanks, Doc. It was awesome. Thanks for everybody for being here.
Sure.
Absolutely. So thank you guys. And I want to wish everybody a great evening. Thank you again for your time, and we'll catch you next time. Bye, guys.